Hey there, this is Tim at Paragon Partners, and I'm going to go over 5 reasons why I no longer use Fiverr anymore. Now, back in the day, I used Fiverr constantly. I was on it within the first 6 months that it came up, and I thought it was great. I was ordering a lot of different gigs, and it really helped me move my business forward. I would say in my peak, I was probably ordering 15 to 20 gigs a month. But now, in the last at least over a year, I haven't even ordered 1 gig. And that's because Fiverr has changed and it's not been for the better. So I want to go over those 5 reasons why I no longer use Fiverr. First of all, Fiverr it no longer lives up to its name. It used to be $5 gigs. Back in the day, I would think about 80% of the gigs were at the $5 level, and all of them seem to be under 15 bucks. Let's take an example here. Now when you go, so a lot of these gigs, they become a lot more pricey. This is just no different than hiring a regular consultant or a local talent. There's hardly any gigs at $5 anymore. Here's one. Now, I wish Fiverr, they mandated sellers offer a certain level of their gigs at $5. I certainly don't I'm certainly not against these sellers who are trying to offer higher value gigs and make more money. That's fine. But I also very much enjoyed it when they offered a very tight gig that was very well defined at $5, and it offered a lot of different value. Nowadays, I don't see any great value in a lot of these gigs. So the second item is just the processing fee. Let me go over here. So you can see if I order a $5 gig, they're attaching a $2 service fee onto that. Service fee, it's more like a make more profit fee. Now, I know in my own business, when I go ahead and I run my credit card for a customer and $5, it costs me like around 30 to 40 cents to run it. So I know there's a lot of padding in this $2. Furthermore, this $2, that's 40% of the value of the fee itself. And I know it's not costing them 40 bucks to process this transaction. So the minimum you can ever order this now is at $7. So it's no longer Fiverr, it's more like Sevener. And this also brings up my third point, is that there's no shopping cart. Now, I know back in the day they used to have a shopping cart, but they don't have it anymore. They took it out for reasons I don't understand. What that would mean is that I could go ahead and queue up a bunch of $5 gigs, say 5 of them. Then I would pay for all those together. So I would pay only one servicing fee. So for those $5 gigs, I pay $27 for all of them. Now if I order 5 gigs at $5 each, I'm going to have to pay this every single time. So I pay 5 times $7 or $35 for all of those gigs now. So of course, what would you rather pay, $27 or $35? It does make a difference. Fourth is that they do really bad word matching against their terms of service. Now, this requires some explanation. Back in the Wild West days of Fiverr, you could go ahead and order gigs for people to post false reviews for your own business, such as on Yelp or product reviews on Amazon. So, of course, Yelp and Amazon, here's an example, here's Yelp. They didn't like this practice because, of course, it threatened the integrity of their system. So, of course, Amazon and Yelp smacked down Fiverr on with lawsuits saying, quit offering this service, knock it off. And Fiverr responded. So what they did is when you go ahead and you send an email now, and in that email you use the word Yelp or Amazon, and mind you, it could be very innocuous, saying, I want to hire a writer. I got a bad Yelp review for my business. Here is my counter response. I'd like somebody to review it for grammar and content before I post it on Yelp. That's a very legitimate gig to order. But Fiverr, because they're so stupid, they're going to see that word use of Yelp in your message on Fiverr, and they're going to say, oops, you possibly violated their terms of service, knock it off. And if you do it too often, they're going to go ahead and terminate your account, even though you've really done nothing to violate the terms of service. They're just being stupid. The fifth reason why I no longer use Fiverr is they really don't have an effective back and forth mechanism to speak with a contractor or the seller. So back in the day when they had these $5 gigs, they would be very tactical. The sellers that were hyper optimized on doing one task and one task only, And so it's just pretty much ordering a pizza. You go ahead, specify what you wanted, and you go ahead and get it. Now, on these bigger gigs, they become a lot more complex, so there tends to be a lot more back and forth messaging and emails from seller to buyer. There has to be a lot more exchange of materials as well. And just in the primitive email system, that doesn't make it really possible. It's very, very laborious. I find that I always have to go to Skype when I order a more expensive gig to communicate all the messages and to answer my seller's questions. What I've been doing actually instead is now I've been using Upwork more. And of course, I'm not the only guy doing this, because some of these on here, I can hire talented people from $5 to $25 an hour. Okay, and you can see, well, that starts to come within the price range of a lot of these gigs. And what I like on Odesk is it's a lot more possible to establish a relationship with a contractor, so they get to understand your business, and then over time they can work for the better for it. And on Fiverr, it tends to be more just one shot. So on these more expensive gigs, I find that Odesk really works better for me. Anyway, those are 5 reasons why I'm no longer using Fiverr. Thanks.